Have you ever had that feeling that the internet is, I don't know, reading your mind? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a huge invisible architecture that's designed to shape everything you see and do online. So let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on behind your screen.
It all starts with that weird, almost spooky feeling. One researcher described it perfectly. He sat down with his morning coffee, opened up his laptop, and boom, right there on the screen was an ad for the exact same brand of Nespresso he was drinking. It's that whoa moment, right? That feeling of being found by an ad. That's our first clue that something powerful is going on just beneath the surface.
So, yeah, that mysterious feeling, it's definitely not a coincidence. It's all by design. It's the product of what you could call an invisible bubble that quietly surrounds every single one of us online. The main idea here is something called the filter bubble, a term that was coined by internet activist Eli Pariser. And the key thing to understand about this definition is that this bubble isn't something we choose. It's a state of, well, intellectual isolation that's created for us by algorithms. They're constantly building this unique universe of information just for you, whether you realize it or not.
Pizer had this amazing example to make it all crystal clear. He had two friends Google the same two letters, BP, at the exact same time. One friend got a page full of investment news and stock prices. The other? They got a page full of links about the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Same search term, but two totally different realities. That right there shows you exactly how the bubble works.
So, what's powering all of this? Why is this happening? Well, the answer is money. It's economics. We're living in what's called an attention economy. And in this system, your focus, your time, your clicks, your attention, that's the most valuable thing there is. Platforms are literally engineered to grab it and hold on to it for as long as they can, because your attention is the product they turn around and sell to advertisers. Now, it's really easy to mix up a filter bubble with an echo chamber, but the difference here is actually super important. A filter bubble is made for you, implicitly by algorithms that personalize your feed without you even asking. An echo chamber, on the other hand, is something you build yourself, by actively choosing who to follow and what groups to join. So one is passive and the other is active. Okay, so how is this invisible architecture actually built? How does it work? Well, it's all powered by this relentless, powerful feedback loop. This right here, this is the engine room of the filter bubble. It isn't just one thing. It's a cycle of three forces that are all connected, and they just keep reinforcing each other, locking us in. Let's break them down one by one. So first up, you've got the technology itself. Recommender algorithms are watching everything you do, what you click, what you watch, even what you just pause on for a second. As one expert put it, they're constantly creating and refining this little theory of who you are and what you're going to want next. And then they just feed you more of what they think you'll like. Second, there's us, our own psychology. We humans are all naturally prone to something called confirmation bias. It's just our natural tendency to look for and remember information that confirms what we already think. The algorithms have learned that the easiest way to keep our attention is to just feed us stuff we agree with. And you know what? Our brains just eat it up. And the final piece of the puzzle is social. It's a concept called homophily, which basically means love of the same. It's our tendency as people to connect with others who are similar to us, who share our beliefs, our values, our backgrounds. So our social networks just naturally become these little clusters of like-minded people, making the bubble even stronger. But, it's important to add a little bit of nuance here. The real impact of the filter bubble is actually still a pretty hot debate. Some researchers argue that the effects are a little overblown and that our own choices play a way bigger role than the algorithms do. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. It's this complex stance between the code and our choices, and the science is still trying to catch up. So, why does any of this matter? Because whether it's the algorithms or our own choices driving it, this diet of curated information, it has very, very real consequences for our lives and for our society. Just take a look at this number, 80. That is the average number of times people check their devices every single day. Think about that. Each one of those check-ins is another opportunity for the attention economy to pull us right back into that loop. And those effects, they just pile up. We're creating this culture of constant distraction, where it's almost impossible to do deep, focused work. We get into this habit of mindless scrolling and just passively consuming content instead of creating things. We get trapped in this toxic cycle of chasing likes for validation. And
On a bigger scale, we see fewer and fewer conflicting ideas, which can seriously hurt our ability to have healthy, productive debates as a society. And look, this isn't just some fringe concern. As Barack Obama warned in his farewell address, this retreat into our own bubbles is a genuine threat to democracy. We end up in a world where we're accepting information, whether it's true or not, simply because it fits the opinions we already have. Okay, so I know that picture can seem a little bleak, but here's the good news. We are not powerless in this. There are actual, concrete steps we can all take to start bursting our own bubbles and taking back our attention. It all starts with being a little more mindful. I mean, you can't change what you don't measure, right? So start by just tracking your screen time and seeing where your attention is really going. Then make a real conscious effort to think critically and actually seek out perspectives that challenge you. You can also try using different tools like privacy-focused search engines like DuckDuckGo that don't create a filter bubble. And finally, just take back control of your digital space. Turn off all those non-essential notifications, regularly clear your history, give the algorithms less to work with. Ultimately, it all comes down to this one question. In an economy where your attention is the product that's being bought and sold, it's really worth asking yourself, with every single click, what kind of information, what kind of world, and what kind of self are you choosing to buy into?